Today is July 14th, 2006. I am Jessica Clark. It is a pleasure to conduct this interview for the Dakota Memories Oral History Project in Tramping Lake, Saskatchewan. Can you please state your name to start with?
Mike, or Michael.
Michael
and Jahner. Nicodemus.
Okay. And where were you born?
Robert, Saskatchewan.
Okay. Were you born in a hospital or?
Hospital.
Okay. When were you born?
12th of October 1935.
Okay. Can you tell me some of your earliest memories?
Oh, let's see. I remember sitting on my grandmother's knee when in the rocking chair when I was 3 years old.
Really?
Yeah. That's the only part I remember about her.
Okay.
And was in this place here.
And where are we right now?
This was used to be my grandmother's house. And after she passed away, it was moved onto the farm and added to the old house that used to be here.
Okay. So this was her entire house?
No, there was a little lean-to built onto this. This was her bedroom, and front room kitchen was in the lean-to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is your grandmother on your mother's side?
On my mother's side.
Okay. What was her name?
Francisca Lemaire.
Lemaire. And do you have any other memories of her, or?
No, not. She passed away shortly after that, I guess.
Okay.
That's all I can remember of her.
How old were you when she passed away?
3 years old.
Okay.
39, yeah.
How about your grandfather on
I'd
that
be
side?
4 years old.
Oh, 4 years old?
Yeah.
How about your grandfather on that side? Did you know him?
No.
Okay.
No.
And then the Jahner grandparents, they died before you were born, right? Or the Jahner grandparents on your father's side?
Yeah.
They died before you were?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't recall any of them.
Okay. What was it like growing up on the plains?
Well, I'm glad I did grow up in them years compared to now. There was always, everybody was poor, and we all had fun. We played a lot of ball and went swimming in the old sloughs, I guess.
Did you know how to swim?
No.
So how did you go swimming?
Oh, we'd splash around anyway.
Okay. Did you ever learn how to swim?
I learned a little. I can swim a little.
Okay.
But I'm no professional at it.
What did you find especially beautiful about the plains when you were growing up?
Well, it's the freedom. In them days, you didn't go too far. There's a town, maybe Broadacres down the road, and revenue. That's where we spent most of our times, playing ball or playing hockey.
You played hockey?
A little when I was younger.
Did you have equipment like a hockey stick and a puck?
Yeah.
Okay. Were they homemade or did you buy them?
Well, they were bought till the sticks were broke, then you repaired them.
Okay. Were they outside just on a lake or?
Open area.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd have to do a lot of shoveling before we got to play.
Okay.
And it was always cold in them years. It was cold in the 50s, 40s.
Did you ever experience a blizzard or
Oh, yeah.
severe winter weather?
Oh, yeah, several of them. 1948 was the most snow that anybody had seen around here.
What was that like?
Oh, we got 15 feet of snow in a lot of places here. Like your telephone poles were covered with drifts, and then in the spring everything got flooded out. It was all water. Within a few days it was gone, that snow. Yeah, And then 1956, we had big blizzard. A lot of people get stormed in or stuck out in somebody else's place. Those storms, I remember some of the early 30s when they went through here.
What were those like?
Well, I know my dad, we only had a half a mile to school, but he took us to school because you couldn't see anything. And we were too young, he didn't want to take a chance, so he put us on the buggy, took us to school.
Would sand get in your mouth
Oh,
or
yeah.
dust get in your mouth? How?
Yeah, you just tied a towel around your face. I know there used to be a horse stable across the road, and a lot of times you just couldn't see that stable for dust.
Did you ever experience a tornado or any type of severe windstorms?
We had a foul wind went through here about 6 years ago, and it did a lot of damage in the area. Yeah. Had some damage done here, but a lot of places had their roofs were lifted. And I think we had one when just recently when that hailstorm went through. The sod house got part of that.
When you were a kid, what was your favorite time of year? Your favorite season?
Spring.
Why?
Like to run around the water and chum in the cold sloughs. Yeah.
Let's see here. You didn't really know your grandparents too well.
No.
But let's talk about the family history a little bit. Your grandparents on your father's side, did they come over from Russia?
From Russia to the United States.
Okay, so they went to the United States
Yeah.
and then up to Canada. Do you know anything about their voyage?
I know grandfather, he came through Ellis Island. He came through New York. And then they settled in around Oran. And apparently he did a little farming in there before they came up north. He made a couple of trips up here then. In 1905, him and 4 other fellows came up here, and they walked off from Battleford, took a train to Battleford, and they came out here. They staked their claim in, and they went back to Battleford and filed their homestead. 3 out of the 5 filed. 2 never did come back. And then they built a sod house next year.
Was your dad born in Russia or was your dad born in
Russia.
Okay, he was born in Russia.
Born in Russia.
How old was he when they immigrated over?
He was 15 years old, 16 when they come here.
Really?
Yeah.
So did he ever talk to you about what life was like in Russia?
No, just the odd, very little. He did say what part of Germany they came, ancestors immigrated from to Russia.
Okay.
And we never talked too much about them.
What part of Germany did your ancestors come from?
Baden.
And then did he ever talk about what life was like in North Dakota?
No, he never said anything about the life down in the Dakotas.
How many children were on your father's side of the family?
1, 2, 3. There's 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. Where was your father in that family as far as oldest, youngest?
My dad would have been the youngest of.
Okay. So they didn't have any more children after they left Russia?
No.
Okay.
2 boys came up with him in 1906, and the girls, one got married in the U.S. and one stayed back and did some housework. In fact, there's two of them stayed back in the States.
So do you still have family down in the States?
No.
Okay. On your mother's side, did they come over from Russia?
They came from
Your
Russia.
parents?
But they came from Alsace-Lorraine area.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they also do the same thing where they went to the U.S. and then came up, or did they
No,
come straight to Canada?
they came over in 1909. They came straight to Canada.
Was your mother born in Russia, or was she born in Canada?
No, she was born in Russia.
Okay. How old was she when they left?
9, 6. She must have been about 12 years old when they left Russia.
Did she ever tell you about what life was like in Russia?
Oh, she did say a little, not too much, but she was a good swimmer, and she used to say about going swimming in the Red Sea there, yeah.
Really?
And the orchards, they had nice orchards at that time. Just beautiful country.
Did she ever mention if she missed Russia at all, or?
No.
No.
No, there was too much going on there. They wanted to get out of there, so.
Did they ever tell you why they left Russia?
Oh yeah, because of the Bolsheviks coming in there. They knew they were coming. Well, there was a lot of problems before the Bolsheviks came in. Churches were closed. And everything was being taken from a lot of the people, and that's when they left.
Your mother, do you know how she met your father? Or how that came to be?
See, there were two villages, and they were only about 3 miles apart, and they probably met at that time somewhere, maybe in school or I don't know.
In
Never
Russia?
did see in Russia.
So your parents knew each other before they came?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, no,
Okay.
they wouldn't have known each other.
Okay.
They had to. They were married. No, they were married. They got married here. So, I think they met here in
Canada?
Canada. They met.
Okay.
That's right.
Did they ever tell you anything about how they met each other? Or?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you know when they got married?
1913.
1913?
Yeah.
What?
My mother was a cook at Scott Hotel.
Really?
When she came over here. She was a good cook. Yeah. She went to work there.
Was that common for women to seek employment outside of the house back then, or?
I think it is quite common. Quite common.
When you think back to your mom, what was her name again?
Frances.
Frances. When you think back to your mom, what type of a person was she?
Oh, she was a hard-working. Yeah, she was she was a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you close to her when you were growing up?
Oh yeah. My dad, she's the one that laid out the rules. Like, he never laid the hand on us, but you had to listen to Mom.
She was the strict one in the house?
Oh yeah.
If you stepped out of line, how would she discipline you?
Oh, you get your spanking, your slap. Oh yeah. Usually a wet dish rack or something like that.
What would be considered stepping out of line when you were a kid?
Well, just getting into a little argument between each other. And, yeah.
Okay.
No, you listened to her.
And your dad, what was his name?
Michael.
So you're named after your father.
Yep.
Okay. What type of a person was your father?
Very gentle. He was a well-liked man. He never had any enemies. He was a good man.
How would you describe your parents' marriage? Did they have a good marriage?
Oh, they had a good marriage.
They worked well together?
Oh, they did all their work together. Yeah. she'd be out there stooking, garden. He'd wash the clothes.
Really?
Yeah, he did all the washing, hand wash. Boy, they worked together.
So when you were growing up, was there a division of labor, like women did this and men did that, or did people, it was pretty, everybody did whatever they needed to be done?
Everybody did what they needed to be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would the boys help cook in the house?
I did help around the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever help do some of the cooking or the baking or canning?
No baking, but I learned a little about cooking from my mother. So.
Okay. What did she teach you?
Different soups and different foods to make. Usually most of it was out of dough, flour. Couldn't afford anything else, so I did a lot of dishes.
Do you remember some of the soups that she would make?
I eat that. Yeah. A lot of borscht or Freda soup and beans, different kinds of soup. Chicken, chicken and noodles.
How about your dad? Did he ever do any of the cooking?
I don't think so. I don't remember. I knew he could boil the milk over every morning, and then that's why he drank his milk. He had to boil it, and then he liked his hot milk, but sometimes he'd forget and it'd run over, and then he'd have a hell of a mess.
You mentioned that he would do the laundry. What day, or do the wash? What day of the week would you do wash?
Well, I think there was washing all the time. Like
All the time?
Different days, yeah. There's no set date.
Okay. And what did washing consist of back then? Because I'm guessing, not guessing. I know you didn't have a washing machine. You just threw it in and hit go.
Old washboard and lye soap.
Okay.
Usually lye soap. And a bucket needs just knuckles.
How long would it take you to do the wash?
It taken quite a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Depends how many there was here.
What about the ironing? How would you do ironing back then?
Just sad irons.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, they used to sad iron.
Your mother and father, when they weren't working on a farm, which was probably seldom, but when they weren't working, what type of things did they do for entertainment?
Play cards. They did a lot of visiting between the neighbors. They did a lot of play cards.
How far was the nearest neighbor?
Probably the farthest around here was about 4 miles, maybe.
So that's quite a
Mm-hmm.
hike over there.
Yeah.
What type of card games would they play?
Rummy and different whist. And they played some rook. Yeah, a lot of West and rummy, and that's mostly what they played.
When you say go visiting, was this something that they would do on Sundays, or would they do this any day of the week if they had some downtime? I mean, when did this take place?
Sometimes during the week when they got it'd be evenings. It's always evenings.
Would it be after supper?
Yeah,
or,
after
okay.
supper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they ever entertain guests at your house?
Oh yeah.
What was that like?
It was nice. They'd play cards and chew sunflowers. Nobody drank. Drank coffee. But everybody chewed sunflowers. This floor a lot of times we had a half-inch of sunflower seeds all over the place. They just spit them all over the place.
They just spit them right out on the floor?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. When people would come over visiting, would the children be included in the activities, or would they be told to go get scarce?
No, we used to be in the front room.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd find something else to do. We'd either play cards or, depends on how the weather was, go outside and do something. But
Okay.
no, we never interrupted with that.
How about politics? Did your parents ever get involved in politics?
Not really, but I know my dad was one, and my uncle were both One was NDP, one was a CCF at that time, the other one was a Liberal, so they'd sometimes get into a little bit of a squabble over that. So.
Did you know your aunts and uncles? Any of your aunts and uncles?
Oh yeah, we just lived a mile from here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got to see him a lot.
Which uncle lived a mile from here?
George,
Uncle
George.
Was that your dad's brother?
Dad's brother. There's only two boys, and they are the ones that came up from Dakotas with the family.
What type of a person was your Uncle George?
He was quite stern, but there too, his wife ruled the rooster, and that one especially.
How many kids did they have in that family?
Oh, there probably was about 12, I think. They were a big family too.
Did they have kids your age in there then?
Oh yeah, the one was the same age as I am.
Okay. Did you play a lot with him?
We were together a lot. He was just like a brother. We were together all the time.
What was his name?
George.
George. Can you describe George?
Oh yeah, he was shorter than I am, and good-looking kid.
What type of personality did he have?
Oh, he's happy-go-lucky. Oh, I know I used to hear him early in the morning singing on the tractor when he was doing Somerville. Yeah.
Do you ever get into any mischief with him?
Oh, lots of times.
What type of mischief?
Oh, let's see. Something that we always thought of something. Drowning out badgers, or like
Did you just say drowning out badgers?
Oh yeah. Until we learned the lesson, they come out pretty mad, and we run like hell too.
How did you drown out badgers?
Buckets of water, so pour water down, and they come up.
So did you have a lot of badgers around then?
There's quite a few around at that time.
Okay.
Yep.
Huh. Did you ever go trapping or hunting when you were a kid?
Yeah, when I was around 16 to 20, I did quite a bit of trapping.
What did you trap?
It was weasel. Yeah. I spent a lot of time with my brother Jack at Maidstone. Had a bit of a trap line set up there in winter times.
Why would you trap weasel? What were they?
Well, you got about $3 a hide at that time, which was good money. And rabbits. Skinned a few rabbits, a couple of coyotes.
What were those for?
Well, you get, not that, rabbits didn't get that much money for them.
Okay.
They were in the, weasel was the one that give you a few dollars.
So what were weasels used for?
Your coats, they make jackets out of coats, oh yeah. Ermine.
Interesting. The money you got from trapping weasels, was it something that you would get to keep, or did you send some of it to your family?
Oh no, I kept that.
So what would you do with the money?
Oh, I don't know, go to a movie or spend it. Maybe getting a bottle of wine. You got a bottle of wine for 50 cents or 80 cents, I think.
Okay. Besides your Uncle George, were you close to any of your other aunts and uncles?
No.
Okay. He was the one that was closest?
Yeah. The other ones were at Wilkie, which was 30 miles away, and never really got to see him that much.
Okay.
You didn't have anything to drive, so other than wagon.
How old were you when your father passed away?
18. No, 17, pardon me.
And how did he die?
Cancer. He was 63.
Was that pretty hard on your family?
Well, there was a younger sister and myself with my mother. So we had a couple of tough winters. We had some hard winters. They were cold winters.
How did your responsibilities change once your father died?
Well, I had to look after Mum and my sister.
Your younger
We had a
sister.
few, some cows and couple of horses. I'd have to do the chores. I know I went for a load of coal one time and I got stuck with the horses going across. I had to shovel them out. But, and it was coal. Probably 40 below anyways.
You said you had a younger sister,
Yeah, Irene.
Irene. Can you tell me a little bit about Irene?
Yeah, we were pretty close, her and I. Just pretty close. We had a lot to do with it. She usually was in with George, my cousin George and myself.
Okay. All three of you causing the mischief.
Oh, yeah.
What type of a person was Irene when you were kids?
Well, she was a happy girl. Good girl. Yeah. I think Rini was telling you about her, me not liking Rini. Well, what happened, I happened to be playing ball with George and she was catching and I was batting and using a hammer. And I missed the ball and hit her between the eyes.
Oh,
And it just happened that Rini came from England and she was, first time I met her. And the first one she gave hell to, and I never did. At that time, I didn't like her, so I keep rubbing it into her that I still don't like her.
When you how many children did your parents have?
There was 12 of us.
Can you take me from the oldest to the youngest?
Peter was the oldest, and there was Lawrence. I guess there's two girls passed away when they were young. One was they were fairly young. One was 14. One was 12, I guess. And then there's Lawrence and Jack, Phyllis, and Doris, Eva, and myself, and Irene. John, well, he got killed in 1956, I think he was killed. He was 52, I guess, at that time.
Okay. The two sisters that died, they died of appendicitis. Did you ever get to know them?
No.
Okay,
No.
they died before you were born.
Before me, yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your brothers and sisters when you were kids, what they were like, how it was like growing up in a home with that many siblings? And
Oh yeah, from Brother John, but there's my younger sister, myself, and there was Eva, Fuchinava, and Doris. The four of us, we spent most of the time together. We had little family squabbles, but we were still close. Everybody's close. We were a close family. Oh yeah.
what did you squabble about? What were family squabbles typically about back then?
Oh, let's see what. Probably some. Can't really recall what it really was about. But I know it. We had the odd squabble.
Were you close to any of your brothers when you were a kid?
None in particular. We were all pretty close. Very close.
Okay.
No, there's nobody especially. Peter and I got pretty close. Brother Jack. Well, none of them were. We were pretty close.
People call you Mike now.
Right.
When did they start calling you Mike?
Probably at school already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any other nicknames when you were a kid?
Spike.
Spike.
Yeah.
Why'd they call you Spike?
I know. They call you Spike.
How about your other brothers and sisters? Did they ever have a nickname?
My brothers did, but none of the girls. I don't know if the boys did.
Okay. What were some of your brothers' nicknames?
You'd have had to ask them. And one was Lodchuk, and there was another one. They all had nicknames.
Okay. We'll have to ask.
Silly names.
We'll have to ask them.
Yeah.
You have mentioned that you would go swimming and play baseball. Were there other types of activities that you participated in as a kid?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What about toys? Did you have any toys when you were a child?
I got very few. First toy I got was a wooden train, and that was Lawrence that got me that set. And I think he got me a little truck after that too. But the rest of the toys I made myself. I made a lot of toys for the neighbors' kids.
What type of toys would you make?
I don't know. I used to have a farm set up in little barns and houses and elevators. And I had them set up here, and they used to have a lot of kids come from town and play with it in the farmyard. That couple of our farmyard set up, windmill, and I made a little thrash machine which actually worked one time. Yeah, so I had a lot of kids come around.
So what would you use to make these toys? Would you?
A lot of out of apple boxes, a lot of that stuff came out. Yeah, a lot of apple boxes. Planes. I made a lot of airplanes. Built a lot of airplanes.
Where did you learn how to make these toys? Was it something your dad helped you with, or
No,
did you
I just did it by myself.
So Lawrence must have been a good big brother buying you a wooden train.
Oh yeah, yeah, he always bought me something. He bought me a wagon too, first wagon. That was back in 1939. He got me that when I was about 4 years old, I guess.
Did you like having older brothers when you were a kid?
Oh yeah. In fact, I still got that little wagon. I gave it to my daughter Charlene. She's got it in Saskatoon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, how neat.
It's a little steel wagon. It's a little bugger banged up, but I still got it.
That's really cool. So what type of a big brother was Pete?
Good. He was gone a lot too. Older brother, he was gone. In the 40s, they were didn't see too much of him. Yeah, I spent a lot of time with Jack on his farm. Yeah.
How many years are between you and Jack?
Do you say 84, 20 years?
Really?
No, 10 years.
10 years?
10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm 7 years. 7, he's 15 years.
Okay. Yeah. So, when you would play, where did you usually play at? Where was your favorite place to play?
Oh, it's either here in the farmyard or down at my Uncle George's place, their farmyard.
You actually had mentioned that you played baseball right here, out here in the farmyard.
Ball? Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Softball, yeah. Everybody played ball.
Did you ever play games with the farm animals, like use the horses or the cows or anything for any playing activities?
No, just riding and working them. Yeah.
How about fishing? Did you ever go fishing as a child?
No, never went fishing.
When
didn't get that far away when
when you were growing up, what about were there any rhymes or sayings or prayers that were said quite often in your home that you can remember?
Well, usually the Our Father and the Hail Mary. We'd say them in evenings. A lot of times we'd say, your dad would lead the rosary, and it was all in German. Yeah.
Do you remember any of those in German?
Oh yeah.
You want to recite them for us?
I guess, eh?
We would appreciate it.
Gebetplaats. Vater unser, du bist in Himmel. I'll say that, Hail Mary. Gegrüßt seist Maria, gevoel Gnade. Der Herr ist mit dir, du bist benedeit in der Welt. Benedeit ist die Frucht deines Leibes, Jesus. It's part of it.
With German, your brothers have mentioned that they didn't know any English when they started school. Is that the same case for you?
Mm-hmm.
Started school without.
Well, I knew a little English, yet my sisters had to learn a little of it before me, but
Okay.
it was German when I went in there too.
So with your kids, did you teach your kids German?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Which I should have, I guess.
So the language is ending with this generation.
That's right. It's going to be lost. Yeah.
Do you did anybody in your family play a musical instrument when you were growing up?
The only one that played is my younger sister. She plays the guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
Was she self-taught or did she take lessons?
No, self-taught.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did she have a guitar when you guys were growing up, or is this something she did later on?
She got that later on, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about singing? Did people in your family sing when you were growing up?
Irene, the youngest sister, she did the singing.
Okay.
The rest, my mother was a good singer. She had a nice voice.
Let's talk about chores, the fun part of growing up on a farm. What type of chores were you responsible for when you were growing up?
Yard work, it was just, well, you'd have to milk cows, get the cows, and help in the gardening. That's about it.
How many cows did you have to milk?
There's usually 2 or 3 cows. 2 that usually do.
How many farms did you have, or cows did you have on your farm?
I and my dad never had that many, maybe 8 or so.
Okay, not that
A
many.
few horses at my time, and he had probably more of that before that. He had more horses too. But
So would you say your father then was primarily a grain farmer?
right,
Okay.
right.
What types of crops did he
It
grow?
was wheat and oats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You said that you had to also help in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
What types of things did you have to do in the garden?
Oh, hoeing,
Hoeing.
and then well, in the fall when your potatoes, you had to dig them potatoes. And we usually had later on we had a little plow to turn the potatoes up, and then one would have to ride the horse, and Dad would hold the plow, one breaking plow, and flip the potatoes over.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So how large of a garden did your mom have?
They had fairly big gardens. Yeah.
So she had more than one garden?
Oh yeah, she had 2 here, and then later they had another one back near the where there's a dugout right now.
Okay.
A lot of big garden.
Did she do a lot of canning when you were growing up?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's all. There was no refrigeration. There was all your meat was canned, put in sealers. And so everything was canned.
Did you help with that process at all, or?
No, I never helped.
Okay.
No. That was the canning, no.
Who did the canning in your house?
My mother.
Okay. Let's see here. What about the field work? Would you help with the field work?
Oh yeah.
Farming?
I know the plows down at the sod. I was 4 years old, 12 years old when I did some plowing with it, 4 horses. And harrows. It's all done with horses at that time. My dad farmed with horses till about 1949. Never did have a tractor.
Never had a tractor.
Till he, 2 years before he died, we finally got one.
How did that change farm life?
Well, quite a difference, yeah.
Amazing. Were you ever hired out to work out for somebody else, or did you have enough work on the farm to keep you busy?
Oh no, I I went and worked out.
Okay.
After my dad passed away, I was working. I went from here. First time I went, worked in Edmonton. Worked putting in water and sewer lines. Then after that, I worked at a bush lumber camp for a couple of winters. A lot of construction work in the city.
So all of that time you were working, would that money go back to your mom?
Yeah, I brought it back to the farm here.
Okay.
I'd work in the winter time, and then I'd come back and do some farming this summer, and then go back again work. I could go back and work anytime. So.
Did you like it when you could go out and work
Oh,
out?
Yeah.
Did you ever have a bad experience doing that, or was it
kind
of a break from farming?
It was a break from farming. Break from farming. I used to wouldn't work in the bar in Edmonton for quite a number of years. I'd go back in winter times. I was supervisor for a few years. Then when I came back here, I worked I was a lineman for the rural telephone, so I did telephone repairs for about 7 years. I did these whole telephones, them old clunkers. I used to work with them.
Were you on your parents' farm? Were you still around when they got indoor plumbing and running water, or did they not have that when you were a kid?
They never did have that. No.
What about electricity?
Didn't have any electricity either.
Okay.
No.
On your farm, when you were growing up, what were the differences between the chores you had to do in the winter and the chores you had to do in the summer? How did the different seasons impact?
Well, it was later on. It was a little easier. You get into when you get to your bales, and instead of your loose straw, everything was put into bales. And it's a little easier. And you had to go out and haul stooks and straw up and put them on piles. Once you start getting your tractor, then things change quite a bit. You had your balers coming in.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about what the family home consisted of? The house that you grew up in?
Like you mean for furniture and that?
Yeah, for furniture, number of rooms, where people slept.
Well, this was the kitchen here. Then there was 2 bedrooms, one in each end of the adjacent building, and the front room. Oh, there was a lot of times there'd be 4 sleeping in one bed. You'd smell somebody's feet next morning.
How would 4 people sleep in one bed? I mean, would you all...
Just reverse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it happened that you had more company than you before sleeping in one bed.
So how many beds were in the house?
1, 2, 3. Then we had an old couch that you could open up.
Okay. What other type of furniture did you have?
Oh, didn't have much. Table, your radio, and there was nothing else.
You mentioned the radio. What do you remember the programmings that you used to listen to as a kid?
Well, usually CBC on these here. Okay. Yeah. That's probably the best one you could get in at that time. A couple of stations. Just it was battery operated. They'd only last so long, then you have to take them away and get them recharged. You have to take them to Travel Lake here, get them charged.
What shows would you listen to?
Well, he's got Flash Gordon, and he's Superman, and Dick Tracy, Shadow Man. Those are the ones that...
Okay. Yeah. Would that be something that the family would do together in the evenings? Or?
Yeah, he'd listen to them, yeah.
Okay.
hurry home from school so you can listen to Lone Ranger, The Shadow Man, or evenings. We spend a lot of time playing cards.
Okay.
Mom and Dad and I. Yeah.
You played cards with your parents then?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
With that light there, the one that's in the middle, that was done.
This is one?
Yeah, that's the one we used all the time.
How long would you play cards for at night?
Oh no, not that late. 9, 10 o'clock.
Okay. When you were a teenager, what type of activities did you participate in?
Oh, in the teens, well, I played a lot of ball, baseball. Spent a lot of time playing ball.
Okay.
That's mostly what I.
Did you go to any dances?
Oh yeah, we went to yacht country dance.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
What were those like?
they were good. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Would those be on like a Saturday night or?
Yeah, on a weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, be on weekends.
And was
It's
that
good. Go to Broadacres or Revenue or there's some school dance. We used to, not that often, we'd have one at Kirsten here, which is half a mile down the road.
Okay. So you would have them at the schools? Out of school?
Mm-hmm.
So how would you do that? Would you like move the desks out?
Yeah, we moved the desks out in the next room and build a bit of a stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they invite a band or?
No, usually it's just local
Local
talent, yeah.
So was this something that the town would have to pay like a entry fee to go into? Or
Oh no, not the schools.
They
No.
were just open
But,
to.
yeah, but like these other dance like Revenue, they usually they always had a band.
Okay.
And Revenue and Broadacres, they always had band.
So what type of music did they play at these dances? What type of dancing would you do?
They had a lot of waltzes and polkas, and that's what mostly the foxtrots.
Okay. So were you a good dancer in your day?
They said I was.
So the dances, was this a place to meet girls or for girls to meet boys? I mean, was it a place to hook up with somebody? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So did you ever meet anybody special at these dances?
No.
No.
No, I was too bashful.
You? Okay.
No, honestly, I didn't.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Well, I guess we're a little different. Usually the women or the girls sat on one side and the boys on the other side. And then usually you didn't sit down, you were just standing around and yakking. So you never did take time to do as much dancing as you could have.
Were these dances aimed at the teenage generation, like the young adult generation, or were they open to the community?
Open. They were open.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And would this be something where there would be food present for people to snack on, or was it just music, or was there alcohol?
There was alcohol, but it was outside. There was none in the house.
Okay.
You weren't allowed alcohol in there.
Okay.
Drank it outside.
Was it at that time? Was there the laws as far as drinking age? Like you couldn't drink if you were under a certain age.
Same as this nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah, you got caught drinking outside, you got wrapped for it.
So what type of alcohol would people drink back then?
A lot of wine.
Okay.
Yeah. And whiskey.
Was this homemade or store bought?
A lot of the whiskey was homemade.
Do you know how they made homemade whiskey?
Well, I couldn't make it, yeah. I brewed some.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Well, you can make it out of potatoes, or you can make it out of barley or rye and sugar, and you gotta let it leave it age, and you get alcohol out of it.
So is it a pretty strong whiskey?
Oh yeah, you can make wine, and once your wine goes rancid, you can reheat it, and then you get good whiskey out of that.
Really?
Oh yeah, you rerun it, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, you get whiskey out of it.
So, let's see, what about movies? We've talked about radio programmings, but I think somebody said Tramping Lake had a place where you could go see movies on Sundays?
Sunday night, yeah.
Okay, what was that like?
Well, that was interesting because that's quite something different.
What type of movies would they show?
There was a lot of old Western movies and wartime movies.
Do you remember
Yeah.
some of the actors that would star in these movies?
Oh yeah, like Liz. Oh yeah, Liz Taylor and Humphrey Bogart and a few of those.
How often would you go see a movie when you were?
If we had money,
teenager?
we'd every Sunday night, but sometimes you never had 25 cents, so
Okay.
never got there. And there too, everybody was chewing sunflowers.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Would they just put them in the movie theater?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So where was the movie theater in?
Church basement.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If you
Okay.
get there, I'll have to show you where they.
That would be great. That would be great.
And Brodigers used to have
So
movies on Friday, Saturday nights. We could never got down there that often. Once in a while.
so Tramping Lake, the community itself, was it Catholic or was it
Predominantly
mixed?
Catholic.
Predominantly.
Yeah.
There were some other religions, but they were
Yeah,
just
yeah.
few and far between.
That's right.
What about Germans? Is it a predominantly German community as
yeah.
well?
Predominantly. Yeah.
Do you remember the first date you went on?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Remember it, they say, or when?
Do you remember?
Oh, I remember the first date, yeah.
What was that like?
Kind of nervous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember who you went on the date with?
Not, you got me now.
Do you remember how old you were?
Probably 16.
16.
Probably 16.
What was a typical date like back then? What would you do?
I know you generally went to somebody's place. Yeah.
Okay.
Meet up with another couple and go sit out, and if you had some wine, drink wine. Go to ball games, like a lot of times they'd go to the ball games too when you're playing ball.
So did they have a lot of community ball games when you were growing up? Like it was a regular.
Oh yeah,
event?
we had good baseball here at one time.
So did you have a baseball diamond somewhere nearby?
Oh yeah, we got Tramping Lake.
Okay.
We still have, I think, 2 or 3 diamonds in here.
Really?
Not used anymore, but we had good ball here. We had league ball at one time.
The older generation, your parents and maybe even, I know you didn't know your grandparents, but people your grandparents' age, what were their feelings toward the dances and the activities that the young generation were partaking in?
They really, I never heard them say anything against it. No. They went out and they had good times too, dances. Yeah, but there was very little drinking. They didn't do any drinking. Not my parents didn't. They just went out to socialize and have a few dances.
Can you tell me a little bit about how World War II affected life in Canada?
Well, we had rations here, like food rations. I still got my ration book from when I was 1942.
Really? Yeah. So, what types of food were rationed back then?
Pretty well, like your peanut butter or any oils you can get. Like your bread, there's quite a bit of items for ration. Something that they could make fuel out of. So.
Was there anything else that changed with the outbreak of World War II?
That's about your rationing, and then how the heck would you put it? It was different. There's not really anything else other than your rationing.
Okay. Well, let's ask a couple concluding questions, and then we will move on and do some other things for the day.
I remember during the war year, Dad and I were walking to the barn, and a P-38 flew over, once with a two-wing tail, and he barnstormed us, and he scared the heck out of us.
Oh my goodness.
I'll never forget that during the war. And he used to see the squadrons flying over. I lost a cousin in the war. Two of them were wounded 3 times. Third time, one of them never went back after the third one. But one was wounded 3 times. He went right through the whole thing. Yep.
So when you were growing up, what was the scariest experience in your childhood?
Well, I think the time when them bastards chased my cousin and myself. He was quite upset. We stayed ahead of him, but we were now pretty quick. That's what. Other than that, there's no one else that really affected me that much.
And the last question on this tape, why did you feel it was important to share your story with us today?
Well, I'm glad there's people out like you that are interested in it, and if it isn't done, it's going to be lost. I wish I could say a few more in German, but I'm kind of a slur at it, so I would like to do a little German, because it's going to be lost. Our language is going to be lost too, particular or different. But it's good that these people come out and do this.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to do this with us and inviting your brothers out and spending the day with us.
No, I think this is a real great thing you're doing.
Okay.
Good.